reasons why I love you and none of them rhyme. 9 times 9, 81, Bonnie and Clyde. We got high and sat by the Wellington sign. I had one hell of a time, it's rock and roll tonight.
Welcome to the Green Tea, Freedom and Truth channel. This is Tristan. It's good to have the Green Tea team back for this Wednesday, the 21st of October 2020 edition of the video log. A big thank you and much appreciation for everyone who has liked, shared and subscribed to the channel. And the messages and comments, I really appreciate it. It means a lot, and it's good to build the community of free thinking, like-minded individuals. Today's topic is we are the resistance. If you're watching this, if you voted a certain way at the election, if you are a free thinking person that values liberty, sovereignty and freedom and truth, you are one of the resistance. We are the resistance. Yeah, we are the ones who see through the plandemic. I call it a plandemic because they are using the B-word 19 situation to roll out a plan to take away our freedoms and rights, to change the global reset, they're calling it. And yeah, not on my watch. That is not something I am co-signing with one bit. And a stitch in time saves 9. One stitch, one action at the right time saves having to do 9 actions another time. A stitch in time saves 9. And we know that if we let things progress, things are harder to unpick, untangle. So the time for resistance, the time for making noise peacefully, being peaceful doesn't mean being quiet. We can be peaceful but make noise. We can be peaceful and connect and resist things that go against our sovereign rights and freedoms as free sovereign beings. And we know that when we watch the media, when that media comes on every night, as JP Sears says,
viral weather outside has never been deadlier. But before we get to our regularly scheduled plandemic update, I'd like to begin by reminding you that trillions of people have died. And I tell you this so you'll be in a fearful state, and therefore it'll be much easier to manipulate you into believing everything I say after this point.
Shout out JP. And then, of course, with the conflicting numbers, everything that's coming out, they want us to disengage our reason, our common sense, our free thinking.
If you accidentally thought for yourself, you'd realize the current COVID-19 death count is many times less than the original predictions that were used to justify the lockdowns. But when you look at the numbers, let's not do the math.
The numbers with more red flags than a Chinese parade. And they don't think that we see the flip-flops, we see the inconsistencies. And it's easy. Now is the time to resist and say no. Because the further things get down the track, it's harder to, unpick and get to maintain our rights and freedoms. It's like it's easier to stay in shape than to get out of shape and then try and get into shape. So the more people acquiesce and take a knee to things creeping into our social fabric of how we're doing things like the push to the cashless society. I like and the surveillance state, the technocracy that we're seeing with and under the cover of the V-word 19 plandemic. So, and David Icke tells a good story about in England during the level 3-4 lockdowns. There was a lovely sunny day and thousands of people just went to the beach with their families and friends just to enjoy the sun and some good times. And the authorities stood down. the resistance was there. They went out and did a lawful action, and nothing could be done. The police, the security just said, there's too many of them. They were just peacefully going about their business. So, one or two people, in Victoria at the beginning, one or two or a small people getting out there and just exercising their rights of freedom of movement, freedom of speech, and this sort of thing. It's easy pickings. They can be picked off. So the more people who use their Bill of Rights 1990 as free sovereign beings, going about their lawful activities peacefully, if in the future they try and bring things in, that they're trying to roll out face recognition, facial recognition software. The police are starting to do that. All of these little incremental steps. So one pulling it up now is far better than just letting it slide and then trying to untangle, because as one stitch opens, more stitches break. And then you're down the track. Then the effort has to be put in to untangle. If we were able to stop the late-term abortion law rather than now having to repeal it, because once someone's out of shape, it's a lot harder to get them back in shape. And we need to take personal responsibility, and that's been the blessing of this election time. People are waking up all the time in their own ways. They're having conversations. This goes against our freedom and liberty. People are not always in that fear state. The Green Tea team members, shout out to the Green Tea team, they've got their wits about them, and their common sense and reason and their gut, their heart, their intuition is being used. So yeah, the time is not to wait for, the time is now. The time is now. The awakening is happening. Make some noise peacefully, peacefully assert ourselves, keep in a high vibrational state, keep our thoughts high. Our actions, thoughts and actions are things we can control, because as I've said many times, we're the only people we're responsible for, we have control over ourselves. So let's just work on ourselves. But when the injustices and things come, speak up, connect with people, share things. Make some noise. Make some noise, just like as David Icke was saying, with people going to the beach. When people just went to the beach, or people didn't wear a mask, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do, because we have the power. We have all the power. Yeah, Lake Taupo here, there's a boat out there. It is pretty as a picture. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Have courage, speak your truth, support each other, have faith and have fun. Peace out. They will never take the Green Tea team's freedom!